And most of all, the Fed must never follow Europe by taking interest rates into negative territory. No more excuses. The Fed's mandate isn't to have a perfect world that only exists in fairy tales, in dreams, and in the Fed's econometric models. These are the last words in the very interesting book Fed Up, and these are also the first words of this event of Leergeld. Welcome to Leergeld.EU, our event on ending QE. It is my great privilege and honor to be able to welcome you here in the room with such a distinguished audience. Members of Parliament, both European Parliament, national parliaments as well, top economists of different key organizations, experts of the Commission of Universities, of think tanks, all in this room today. And of course, a warm welcome to our keynote speaker, Ms. Danielle DiMartino Booth, who flew in especially from the United States, from Dallas, to be able to be here with us today. And many thanks to our two panelists, also Geert Noels and Stéphane Rottier, who will be discussing this topic as well after the keynote speech. My name is Sander Loones. I'm a member of European Parliament for the N-VA party, the New Flemish Alliance, which is the biggest party in Belgium and in Flanders. We're a member as well of the ECR Group, European Conservatives and Reformists, and we decided in the beginning of 2017 to launch this project, Leergeld.EU. It translates literally into English, to learn about money. And that's precisely what we are aiming to do. It's to clarify to people what is happening with their money. Because I notice every day that there is a need for such information. This event, for instance, when I talk about it with friends, with family, with other people, the first reaction is quite often, I'm sorry, but what is QE? People don't know this issue. And still, 3 years ago, QE was already launched by the European Central Banks, almost 10 years ago by the Fed in the United States. And still, this term has not yet become a household name. Despite its enormous economic and financial impact. Even less is known if you talk about the abbreviations of QE, APP, CSPP, PSPP, and so on. And that's precisely the aim of Leergeld.EU, is to translate that more complicated economic lingo into more understandable language for anyone who has a keen interest in the topic. And it's necessary. Only today we read in the media that they're working on a government agreement in Italy. And one of the proposals could well be a proposal of the Far South Movement and Lega Nord, is that they would expect that the ECB forgives them 250 billion euros in Italian bonds, and they should be bought up by quantitative easing in order to bring down Italy's debt. Immediately, the reaction of Five Star Movement and Lega Nord was, oh, but it's just a temporary leaked document. It's not the final program. The date on the note was May the 14th, only two days ago. So we will see how it comes about the upcoming days. Today we have the third event of Leergeld.EU. Our first event was with Jurgen Stark and Ivan van der Kloot on why QE and ultra-low interest rates are bad for our economy. The second event was with Pascal Papen and Lex Hoogduin. Then we answered the question if the ECB needs a new mandate. And today we're taking the discussion a step further and we're building on what we learned in the two previous events. In October 2014, the Fed decided to stop its asset purchase program. And slowly we see that interest rates start to rise again. Soon we will see what the effects are of quantitative tightening, QT, on the markets. Since February of this year, you see that the volatility in the American stock markets has clearly increased. But some, like Ms. DiMartino Booth, would also argue that we should focus more on the bond market to see what is happening there. In Europe, the normalization of monetary policy still has to begin. The European Central Bank might stop in September, although also that remains unsure. So given that the Fed is already doing what the ECB is going to have to do, we thought it would be a good idea to bring over or to fly over an American expert to the European continent, Ms. Danielle DiMartino Booth. In the panel discussion afterwards, both Geert Noels and Stéphane Rottier are invited, especially to make the link between what we can learn about the American experience and link it to the specific European context. The panel discussion will be moderated by Laurence Urbain, who also wrote, a young talented Fleming, who also wrote a book on the last financial crisis, the book Chrono Crisis. But that's for the panel discussion after the keynote. Let's focus on the keynotes. Ms. Danielle DiMartino Booth, she's an economic consultant and commentator. After finishing her MBA in finance and international business, she started working on Wall Street. Later, she studied journalism because she wanted to educate the public about financial market. What better speech and speaker we could think about for a Leergeld event. She moved to Dallas, Texas, started working as a journalist at the morning news, but only short after was bought away, or got a phone call at least, of the Dallas Federal Reserve Bank. She accepted the job and served as advisor to President of the Dallas Fed, Richard Fisher. Mr. Fisher is considered more hawkish, one of the central bankers of the last decade. Then she, about all her experience, wrote a book, Fed Up. The ECR Group is very happy also to present you this book. You will find it in the back of the room. Also, Ms. Danielle DiMartino Booth is available to sign it afterward to respond to any more questions. I give you the floor, Danielle, and we look forward to your speech. Thank you.